Hey everyone, it's a Double Shot at Love, Season 1, Episode 5. I got my hair cut and did. Put a little fancy eyeliner, so I'm feeling good. And we have a recap. Are you going to pay attention?
Nah.
Okay, so it starts off with Brittany's laying down some truth bombs right at the beginning. And of course I'm like, and who is she? They all look alike. If I was at a club and I was a little bit buzzed, and I was like talking to one of them, and I turned away, and they switched out one for another. I haven't mixed up Susie and Mish, who are different ethnicities.
I can't even tell Beavis and Butthead apart.
So anyway, Susie and Nadia are besties. They don't even they're like here for like a free weekend holiday. Couple weeks of holiday. They're gonna hang out at the pool. They're gonna party. It's a good time all around. Okay, so Brittany was laying down the truth bombs about Nikki, which is that she wanted to quit because rather than being rejected and losing, she'd rather like take herself out of the game.
What do they win?
They win Vinny or Polly.
Unlikely, since they already have a season 2.
Do they?
Re-up. That's what you said.
I was joking. We don't know, but there will be. Don't worry. Although I guess they used to just have different people each season, but I think they'll probably flavor of love it and have them in the back. So they have a competition for a date. They have a big vat of hair gel, which I was really excited to see what it looked like when it landed. When they landed in it, I was like, that's water.
With like
that's
maybe
water.
some soap in it.
Yeah, like maybe like they took a little bit of aloe and were like, or like took one tub. But I was like looking for this big like skabloosh, and it did not happen. Holly has this whole thing where she goes out to talk to him, and he's like, yeah, no, I can see, just don't try so hard. Now let me tell you what don't try so hard means.
Back the heck off, woman.
Well, no, what it means is...
Get up off my job.
You're not my flavor of ice cream. That's what trying too hard means. Because if she was the exact same way with someone who was feeling the same way about her, you know, like, they show her, like, peppering him with questions. Well, that's because he was like, to every question. And I think he's essentially, he doesn't like to make, he's a people pleaser. This is pop psychology 101 with me. But I think what's happening is, it's like when people say, oh, I don't like comedy that tries too hard. What they mean is, I don't like comedy that I don't get. Like, I just read an article, I told you this, about someone talking about how the cowbell skit on Saturday Night Live, you know, I think it needs more, I've got a fever, and the only thing that'll help me is more cowbell. And the article was saying, nobody likes this sketch. Nobody thinks it's funny. They just like everybody, it's just like an inside joke. But nobody actually likes it, which of course half the comedians on Twitter are like, what are you talking about? Of course we think it's funny and we like it. That's why we like it, is because it's funny. But to this guy, he didn't get it, and so he just thought everybody else was like punking him. Like it was like some inside joke. Like, we're going to pretend to like this sketch. Like David S. Pumpkin, which we thought was funny. But some people were like, I don't get it. So so people say, oh, I don't like comedy that tries too hard. What they mean is, it's like, you think the comedians are accidentally being funny. You don't think that Robin Williams literally like killed himself trying to be funny. That you think Jerry Seinfeld was up there?
That was
well, that's not what I... No, but I'm saying he had terrible, terrible depression. And he was funny literally because he had to be. He had to entertain everyone else around him. And he was just constantly burned him out.
And you didn't mean to reference his suicide.
I did not mean to reference his suicide, to be clear. But I mean, it's like Jerry Seinfeld. You don't think Jerry Seinfeld's working really hard? Yeah, he's trying really hard. And so I feel, to get back to my point, I have the long diversions through, is that my advice to Holly would be like, she's reading that Polly's not into her, and she's like, oh, okay. And so she goes, are you just not into it? He's like, no, you're really cool. Just don't try so hard. But the truth is, he's not into her.
Truth is, they can't only get rid of one.
Well, I mean, I think he's a little bit of a people pleaser. Plus, it's a show. I have no doubt that they're working with the producers to make a more interesting show. I don't think that's a bad thing. But I don't really think this is like The Bachelor, where the producers are like hanging back and observing. I'm pretty sure they're like, someone's dead weight. And I think Holly's really nice, but I feel for her, because here's this guy saying, no, you're really cool. Just don't do anything you're doing. And then every time she like goes to meet him halfway, like, oh, so what do you think of this? He's like, he doesn't roll his eyes at her, but he's like, yeah, yeah, and gives her nothing back. And so she's like, okay, I'm confused. He's saying he's interested in me, but every time I do anything, you know what I mean? So I feel bad for her.
I'm under the impression people are only on this show to get camera time.
Could be. I don't know. I maybe I've seen a little. Maybe I'm reading a little too much into this based on some personal experiences. I have not always been the confident, self-assured 40-year-old woman that I am now. I used to be a hot mess 20-year-old. Anyway, so I feel bad for Holly. I kind of just want to take her off the show and be like, let's get you your own show with a bunch of guys. I'm sorry that Holly has let you down so much. So anyway.
Don't you mean Bill or Ted?
Hair gel. Vinny loses. Pauly D picks Darren, who, the crazy cat lady. Like, this is why. And then I thought she was, like, laying low for a while. Like, you know, the whole meowing thing. I thought, well, she's not into him, but she's staying for the show. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm going to marry Pauly D. And I was like, whoa, girl, that was, I thought we were not in that place. She's not going to marry Pauly D, I'll tell you right now. So anyway, they go on this date. They go on this... If there's ever been a high dollar date, it was not this one. This is it. It probably cost a lot because they put one of those swans in the pool. So it's like, it probably cost a lot to rent that swan. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what a swan rental is. But like, we're going to go sit in the pool. Paddle around. Right. So then I guess she like kind of grabs him and kisses him. And then, Darren's going for her date, and Nikki gets all, like, sulky about, she doesn't have what I have, because what I have is lit. And it's like, I think girls should be that confident. I'm not knocking her for her confidence.
She's just a crazy lady.
I just don't know that this is the show to have that level of confidence. Like, more like, whatever, it's, like, he's gonna have, the show wouldn't be interesting if he just hooked up with one girl and then just hung out with her and kept sending other ones home. So it's like, there you go. So anyway, we see Nikki lean over to Mish and say, Pauly thinks Holly is weird. Now, I think it's true. I didn't ever see him say it. He seems like a really nice guy in a way that sometimes, like, it would be nicer for him to be like, yeah, I just don't think we're clicking. And the more you try to connect, the more it's not working for me. Maybe go check out Vinny or something, like, where cruel would be kind kind of thing. Anyway. So then Mish goes and says, Nikki said that Pauly thinks you're weird. And of course it's very embarrassing for Holly. I don't really blame Mish. Like, she's not like a Navy SEAL with government secrets that she's sworn to always protect. I don't know why Nikki's saying this when they got like cameras everywhere and mics. I don't really know. So then Mish and Vinny have like a little mini date because she's all like, boo-hoo. And then Marie and Vinny go and hook up. And then Mish is really upset because she's like, literally, and I get her, where she's like, it was literally 2 seconds later. I kind of get her there, but on the other hand, this is the show. We all know what's going on. So anyway, at the very end, they bring down Holly and Nikki, and they're like, hey, you guys are both a bunch of psychos, but if you could just chill out, this is making for great ratings. No. They didn't really say that, but that's...
Based on their budget for the Swan date, I don't know that's making great ratings.
Well, of course, though, they don't know that at the time, because you film it. It was probably all filmed 6 months ago. Anyway, and so...
I mean, it's not live?
It's not live. I'm sorry, baby.
I have to reevaluate my life.
I'm sorry. Anyway, and then they bring down Susie and Nadia... And they're like, we haven't seen you in days. And I'm like, how big of a house is this that you haven't seen them for days? I was like, when she said, I think it was B Lashes was like, anybody want a margarita or a cupcake? I'm like, I wonder if I could sneak on this show. Do you think 41's too old? I get some margaritas. Clearly you can just hide out in a closet for like 2 weeks and get cupcakes and margaritas and then... Anyway, so they get rid of Nadia, and the first thing she does, rather than be like, oh, I'm so bummed, Pauly and Vinny, she's like, Susie, But they were like, they're not adding anything, we have no good footage of them. Out. And so there you go, that's the show. Anything to add? Can you tell them apart?
Who?
Any of them?
No.
I couldn't. I can't really either. But they the first four or something that brought down, or the second four, or the third four, I don't even know. I was like, they all look alike to me.
Oh.
If I had to like match up names, I could probably get about half with girls if they gave me a list of names.
They
and a
have
list of
names
girls.
in the show?
They do, and I could probably match up half. And that's not a slam on them. That's not. That's not. I don't think they're unattractive girls. If you're watching this, don't watch this. Don't watch the recaps. Don't read the comments. This is not your space.
Great disclaimer for the end of our video.
No.
Go turn it off.